You won't get on his bad side.
Well, Amare, how is it playing with that thing, managing that thing, and what does it feel like in there? You just trying to get your hand out of there?
I mean, it has its pros and cons. Obviously, can't really grab as much on cloth when you tackle, but like as y'all saw Thursday night, opportunities to punch at the ball help a lot. It's just I've been having to practice for 2 weeks now, so I've been kind of used to it, trying to not really have it in my mental as much as playing free. But it's definitely has its pros and cons too.
Yeah, the club. We were saying the other night, the club giveth and the club taketh away.
Yeah. That third down,
right.
One down, one back. Hopefully, have my hand on that, but it is what it is.
So you get it wrapped before every practice?
Yes, sir. Yeah, I get it wrapped.
So after you get it taken off, what would you wear in your hand when you're going to class? Or just
usually I wear a splint, but my hand's at a point where I don't need to wear a splint, so I just kind of let it rock.
How long would it take you to get used to that?
The club?
Yeah, I would just think it's kind of frustrating because you can't move your fingers or anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I try not to really worry about it as much during the practice. But I mean, I got used to it probably by the second day of practice, me practicing with it.
Is there compared notes with John Copenhagen?
Yeah, he was one of the persons I talked.
Like this big.
Yeah, he was one of the persons I talked to because he had hurt his hand the same way. But yeah, I talked to him about it. A couple other players. He was cool.
Do you have a time frame for getting it off?
Hopefully, this week going into it with the club, and next week let the doctor decide how my hand is going. And we can go to something smaller, so I can have the rest of my fingers to use.
So central potentially. Would be
yes, sir. Yeah.
Is it painful when you hit somebody with the club?
No, I mean, my adrenaline is running, so I don't feel it as much. But definitely when I'm taking on blocks, or maybe if it hits the ground, I'll feel it on my knuckle. Other than that, it's fine.
How did you hurt your hand?
Yeah, it was team practice, and I read a screenplay and came up and tried to punch the ball out, and it just broke. Yeah. Just every day I'm trying to punch the ball out, and just the one day I tried to punch it, it just broke.
And who were you trying to punch it out?
Amare.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Good on good crowd there.
Mark, what do you remember about the fumble that you did for us the other night? What do you remember about that play? Can you kind of take us through?
Yeah, I dropped back, saw the quarterback scramble out, and I saw the ball was in his right hand, so my near arm. So I was like, just went in there and tried to punch it out, put my hand in there, sticking it. I knew it was out when I hit it. And then thankfully Trav was there, a bunch of us was there to pick up the ball.
And so Thursday, of course, was you all's first chance to really play under that Jeff Collins defense, live in real time. I know you've probably got a chance to look at the film a little bit. What are some of your first assessments on how you guys were able to kind of play free as you guys like to describe?
Yeah, I said we all played good. We all communicated well. It's just little certain stuff you see in games that you don't see in preseason camp because you don't know exactly what the offense is going to do. But I feel like we communicated well throughout the game, and as the game went on, we got better with whatever Coach Collins wanted us to do for certain drive or certain plays. And I just feel like we all flew to the ball, and we got a couple missed tackles, but we'll clean that up, and everything just felt smooth. We was all flying to the ball.
Is there anything that last season before he left that told you that ended up playing out exactly as he told you in the game in Minnesota, and you thought back and oh wow, he really knows his stuff?
You said Ced?
Yes, Cedric Gray.
Can you repeat the question?
Yeah, is there anything that he told you before he left that ended up playing out exactly like he told you it would against Minnesota?
I mean, Ced just always told me you next up, just keep doing what you're doing. He knows he always acknowledged me as a great player, and just if I keep my head up, keep my head high, keep focused on what I got to do, and I will be a great player. I'll make great plays.
You guys had a lot of swagger, I thought, defensively, confidence. Where did that come from?
Yeah, I would just say from all the hard work we put in, from spring ball to winter workouts, summer workouts, fall camp. Our whole offseason, we took it serious and we connected as a team. So just playing with confidence and playing as a tight unit definitely helped us play with that swagger.
How do you sustain that? Because we were talking to in the South Carolina game last year, defense looked great, and then it kind of fell off.
Yeah, I guess that mainly starts, I feel like, with practice. Practice determine how you play, so we got to keep believing in ourselves, stay tight, take workout serious, take practice serious every day, and we just got to keep stacking it, and everything will go how we want it.
Was the biggest difference the way the guys played up front, with their discipline up front, and Dez eating up a bunch of blockers, allowing some of the other guys to make plays?
Yeah, I feel like everybody just trusted it. Everybody's play will come. Everybody has to do their job from a certain play. Maybe Dez might be taking on the block one play, but the next play someone's taking on the block for him. So everybody just got to do their assignments and everything will work.
Does the trust allows you to play freer, obviously, right?
Yes, sir, yeah.
How much discernibly quicker are you when you're playing freer by trusting somebody as opposed to maybe not trusting.
Yeah, because when you trust someone, you're able to do your job, do what you got to do. But when you're thinking about other players and maybe he might not do his job this play, and I might have to accompany for him, then that doesn't trust you to play your job first, and you're trying to do multiple things at once.
Is that anything that y'all have talked about, Amare? Is that you guys did look fantastic against South Carolina last year, and then it did sort of fall off. Have you guys discussed that among yourselves?
We're not really focused on last year. We don't feel like it's the same type of bond. We didn't really compare this to the South Carolina game. We just compared it to what we got going on now. So we have a whole new mindset, a whole different everything than last year. So we just got to keep it going.
What's the faith in Connor?
I mean, I got 100% faith in Connor. Connor's one of the most hardest working guys. Hasn't had as many reps in the last 2 years, but I feel like he's a hard-working guy. He get out there and does what he has to do. Like everybody else, just practice well, get those first-team reps that he's getting now. I have 100% faith in Connor.
What have you seen so far from Charlotte on film that sticks out to you about their offense?
Yeah, I would say they do a lot of misdirection stuff to try to send people one way, move you this way, bring it back. But I would say a lot of misdirection stuff. They have a pretty good back. So, yeah, yes, sir.
We were talking to Jeff Collins yesterday, and some of it was about that third down package, that pass rush package where you have Dez and Kaimon on one side and then Bo on the other, and he was saying he'd call it psycho. I mean, for lack of a better description, is that just a fun group to have out there just saying, go get it?
Yeah, definitely. Those guys are tremendous pass rushers. I wish we could have all three of them on the field every down, but it's amazing group, amazing 3 players on at one time, third downs, one for the offense, opposing offense, quarterbacks.
Why is psycho an appropriate name for that package?
Because all them boys go psycho. Dez goes psycho, Bo goes Rucker, everybody, all them boys go psycho, so they're going to go out there and unleash whatever play is going.
What did Cope have any advice when you went and asked him for the...
I mean, he just told me, like, hand placement is going to be important, obviously, because, you can't misplace your hand when you got a club. And he just told me, like, just try not to worry about it as much as keep playing how you play, and then just adjust to it, the little minor things that he told me. But he's been great. He got surgery, too, so he helped me with that as well.
Yeah.
Yep, yes, sir.
Good. Thank you.
Great stuff, Amare.
Appreciate it. Interact with Connor every play. How has he seemed different, if at all, this week now that he is firmly cemented as the starter?
I wouldn't say there's a lot of difference. Him, being the starter this week. They switched all during fall camp with Max Connery every other day. So, we're used to him going in there and doing a good job. He's being very confident this week. We're letting him know, hey, we believe in you. You can do this. You're a great quarterback. It has not really been a difference because it's something we've been doing in camp leading up to these games. I'm really excited about Connor and his opportunity he's getting. I think he's going to do a great job.
And the final field goal at Minnesota, once it went wide, you were the first one up to Mac. You give him a big bear hug, and then he has to pry you off him because he has to go shake Fleck's hand. What was that moment like?
It was awesome. I didn't even know it was Coach Brown behind me. I just ran into somebody, and the first person I saw was going to give a hug, no matter who it was. But just having to meet Coach Brown, and it's pretty special to be able to see my new head coach right there and then embrace that first one with him. So
should try to lift him up.
Did he have that old man strength?
Yeah, he did. I think he got me off the ground a little bit. Kind of surprised me. Was kind of tired because we just gotten done playing a full game, so he kind of knocked the wind out of me a little bit. Yeah, he's pretty strong though.
Blaske, you came here to play.
Yes, sir.
And when you think about your experience in Georgia coming here, how personally rewarding was it for you to go out there, start a game, finish a game, and get a win on the road?
It was awesome, especially my first start being against a Big Ten opponent. Minnesota is a storied program, and they have good players over there. So being able to go out there and show what I can do the first time in my career for a full game is incredible. It was a really special moment. And it's probably a moment I'll remember the rest of my life.
There's a lot of newness on the line, guys that you only played with for 8 months or so.
Right.
A lot of 4 new starts. How was the communication up front?
We were really clean with the communication. Obviously, it was pretty loud. Like I said, Big Ten atmosphere, especially coming down near the goal line, got pretty loud right in front of student section because they had a gold-out game. Communication was a big thing that we emphasized all week. We had the crowd noise in here going all week. It really wasn't a problem. The guys were listening and bought into what we were doing, so communication was not a problem.
I got to ask you one more. Aiden Banfield, true freshman. You were told yesterday by Mac he had a banged-up ankle going in, but he was sure he was going to play. Kind of take us through how he played and what do you have to do when you've got a true freshman next to you? You have to talk to him maybe more than the other guys.
Yeah, so for a freshman, I think he did unbelievable. Especially his first start ever. A true freshman. He was. A year ago he was playing at Mill Creek in Georgia. So He did really well for a freshman. I didn't really have to ever communicate with him. He's a really smart kid who plays really hard, especially for having almost a sprained ankle this week. So he did all that we could ask of him, and he's going to be a really great player, and he is a great player. So I'm very excited for him.
Also, have you had a chance to reach out to or hear from Max? Obviously, since you guys have left Minnesota, I know he's still up there
right.
treatment and stuff.
I texted him the other day, but I know he spends time with his family right now, and that's hard for anybody to go to. So I'm just giving him a little space right now. Just, hey, I'm praying for you, thinking about you. So that's a hard injury. He's going to be out for a long time. So I'm just, I'm here if he needs me. But for right now, I'm going to give him some space with his family, and just let him get back in the right headspace before we have a serious conversation.
Austin, I know you said you hadn't seen anything crazy different from Connor in terms of his mentality, but he obviously has different skills than Max, different strengths. Like, how do you think this offense, you guys, can utilize what he does best now? That he's the guy. Like, how do you play to his strengths and let his strengths work for what you guys want to do?
Yeah, absolutely. Max and Connor have their own strengths. Obviously, we're going to sprinkle in a little bit of different stuff this week just because Connor is our quarterback. But y'all see on Saturday. We're still game playing right now to figure out what we're going to do because Charlotte's, it's a new week. We're not playing Minnesota, so we're playing Charlotte. But regardless of who's back there, we just got to hold ourselves to the standard of which we play. Every week it's UNC versus UNC. It's not UNC versus Charlotte. It's UNC versus our standard. And every week we have to uphold that standard. To make sure we come out with a win, and that's the goal, is go 1-0 each week.
Yeah, the other day as well, Chip was talking about how you guys kind of bought into the physicality element, downhill running style. He used the phrase "toughness travels." Is that something that he's kind of spoken to your room, like that specific phrase? And how do you feel that you guys have kind of bought into the physicality of the run game that you all are establishing?
Yeah, for sure. It's tough. He has emphasized toughness does travel. You brought with us in Minnesota. Sometimes you just have to be tough. It's going to be a lot. We had one drive. I think it was double-digit plays. I'm not sure how many it was. 17. It was 17.
You had 17 and then 12 in the third.
So I know we pretty much had the ball the whole third quarter. That's toughness traveling right there. You're not going to get what you want at the end of the drive at all times. But just being able to hold on to the ball and run that clock down and control possession of the game was a big emphasis on that drive. So that's an example of toughness travels, and we've been talking about it. All this fall camp, all this training camp, leading up to this. So we made that big emphasis for our offensive line. I'm excited to see that the rest of the season, especially this week. Like I said, 1-0 each week, and I'm excited for us to show that each week.
And I don't know if this is a strange question, so to speak, but what is the, degree of patience that's required when you're doing a play a series that extends as long as it does, not just the amount of plays, just kind of keeping composure, play.
Right. Honestly, I didn't even know it was 17. I knew it was a lot. I wasn't sure how many. But we take it as one play at a time. Each play is its own thing. You need to win each play. So as like Coach Clem says, think small. Don't think about the big picture. Think about the process. And that drive, we thought about the process. We weren't worried about how many plays we were in there. We were worried about each play doing our job. Feet, hands, had alignment assignment each play. We weren't worried about how we weren't worried about the end goal. We were worried about that play and the process that was going on that play.
How many different defensive linemen did they have in front of you to your depth? I would imagine they rotated quite a bit in that drive.
No, I saw 91, 89, 96, and 97. So I think it was about 4 guys that they were rotating in there. And especially that one drive, they were rotating a lot. But it was hard for them because we went a lot of tempo, went a lot of fast pace, just so they couldn't get those certain packages out there. But yeah, I think it was about 4 guys I saw play defense tackle throughout the game.
Considering, Austin, that it's basically a brand new offensive line for this team. How would you maybe assess the overall group from the other night, considering it's Howard's first college start, it's Aiden Banfield's first college start, it's Travion's first college start? Right. How would you sort of critique how you guys played as a whole, do you think, and how much more room you have for improvement? Right.
I think we played pretty well for a lot of guys having their first start. I think one thing we did show is physical toughness. Like I said, that 17-play drive. Some guys were, pretty winded, and some guys even said they were seeing colors. They got so tired on that drive. Okay. And that's just part of it. You just got to fight through it. I applaud the guys for that because they were really physically tough. One thing I think we could work on is just next play mentality. We're lot of new guys who started. You know, they mess up one play, and just gotta move on to the next play, and don't live in the past. Like look to the future, live in the present, and just be ready for that next play. That's the biggest thing. That's one thing I'm emphasizing this week. Is move on to the next play. Not anybody's ever gonna play a perfect game. I mean, that's just part of football. I think that's one thing I'm really gonna emphasize this week, and talk with the guys during meetings and stuff. Next play mentality. So.
Did you ask him what colors they were saying?
No, I didn't. I just left it at that. I was like, take your word for it, buddy. Let's go.
So one light blue, one maroon, and one yellow.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. I mean, he could have been seeing rainbow for all I know, but I'm not sure. But,
well, the sky was really pretty at kickoff.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was. But yeah.
You guys penciling Amare in for 30 carries every day? Yeah, you think he's going 30 every time?
I can.
35 touches, I guess,
yes.
with the catch.
Yeah. It was definitely a lot. But Amare's a workhorse. That dude, he's never been playing a day in his life. I mean, if he wants 30 carries, 35 carries a game, I mean, we're going to give it to him because that dude's he's a superstar. He's a great player. We that one drive we especially leaned on him.
Yeah.
Take some time off the board and get us some points, and he surely did that. So.
We good?
Great. Welcome back, Kaimon.
Yeah, appreciate it.
How do you think Amare did the other night? Playing with that
Campbell?
Yeah, playing with that fist and
Yeah.
able to use it to knock the ball loose.
I think it's an advantage for him. Obviously, his attributes of catching the ball probably gone down a little bit, but I mean, I feel like the cast or the club, I don't think it's messed him up by any means. He hasn't skipped a step. It was definitely beneficial on the punch out for sure. But he's one of those guys, man. It doesn't matter what kind of obstacle you throw in his way, he's going to overcome it anyway. He's been a great asset to his defense as well. And so, a little club ain't finna affect him and how he's going to play on Saturdays, and in this case, last Thursday. So
some of you guys have talked over the last month plus since camp started about how mature he is.
Mm-hmm.
He just turned 19 the other day, but he's a mature guy. Give us some examples of his maturity on the field that you can sense when you're out there and then when you watch on the film that you see.
I mean, with just him just being the Mike backer and just like, him taking charge at 19 years old, man, that's a big job for somebody at that age, man. There's a lot of guys that I know in other different places that would not be able to handle that. And so for Amare just to, take over the reins, just knows like he has a big responsibility as his defense, just to lead, to be the voice of it. And alongside with Powell Echols, man, with him being his mentor and stuff like that, just, he's done a tremendous job, shows his maturity, just knows like, just like everybody, you're going to make some mistakes. There's going to be some calls that you should have did that was better and stuff like that. But for him, he definitely has a perfect definition of having football amnesia, where if the play doesn't go his way or if he misses a tackle or makes a wrong call, he doesn't think about it anymore, moves on to the next one, which is what we need at inside backer. And so I feel like he's definitely held up his own pretty well, and I know he's only going to get better from here as young as he is. Even though how mature he is, he's only going to get better from here.
Kaimon, I know you're on different sides of the ball, but has there been anything different with Connor this week as opposed to last, where now it's his show with Max being out?
Most definitely. Prayers out to Max for sure, man. I'm still praying for him, wishing on him for a speedy recovery. I keep up with him and stuff, so I know he's doing well. I know he's still having some procedures done, but we're wishing him the best, still praying up for him. But you're right, this is Connor's show now. This is his offense, and so it's hard to tell right now because it's just so short notice and stuff like that. He barely Connor played half a game, and I didn't really pay attention to it too much in offense, especially with me trying to get after it. So, but I feel like the offense is still going to be in good hands with Connor. I feel like with Connor, man, he definitely has some attributes that's going to make this offense more dynamic. Going to have a dangerous backfield still, and I'm looking forward to seeing how Connor takes on his this new role. I know he's definitely been preparing himself the entirety of the spring over the summer, and he's done a tremendous job in improving in his leadership, being more vocal, bringing guys up, and of course his work ethic, just staying after practice, getting extra work, whether that he was playing or whether that he was not, just being a good leader for everybody, not only in the quarterback room but also on the offense and for the rest of the team. So for him to get this role, I feel like he's going to do a tremendous job.
Can you give us a scoop on who got helmet stickers from last week?
Let's just say a lot of people got helmet stickers. I don't know everybody that got them, but y'all gonna see who got them for sure.
How many did you get?
7, I think. Ironically,
You're gonna fill that helmet up, aren't you?
I'm gonna try to for sure.
Kaimon, what's your sense of? Obviously, you remember how the opener against South Carolina went last year, where you guys got after Rattler, the 9 sacks. Everybody was loving you up about the pressure you created. What is your sense of the way you played the other night and, sort of trying to avoid the fall off that happened last year with the pressures that you got in the opener and then it didn't carry it?
Yeah. I just got to be where my feet are. Obviously, just with every other game, I can't put a whole bunch of expectations over what I've done in the previous games of athletes now.
Group.
But I know as a group, man, we're still looking for improvement each and every time. I know with Coach Collins, we've done some great things in that game last week. Holding them to 78 rushing yards, which is huge for a team that led the Big Ten in a lot of rushing yards last year. So these guys were not an easy task by any means, and so I feel like we're going to be in a good spot. You know what I'm saying? Just this is something that we're going to continuously try to roll over, getting better each and every week, not only in preventing rushing yards, but also getting back there to the quarterback as well, reducing passing yards and stuff like that, getting them off in third down, 3 and outs and stuff like that. So, the sky's the limit for this defense. We're still aiming to be the best defense in college football, and I feel like last week was a good starting point, and now we can only go up from here.
Kaimon, I know one objective of this year's defense was to rotate more guys, play more players on defense. It seemed like you guys were able to do that on Thursday, play about 20 players. What did you like about the substitution patterns and the rotations, and how do you feel that kind of helped you guys?
I feel like it just allowed us to get more guys on the field, and for the guys that we need in crucial situations, allowed them to be rested up and ready to go. I know in the past it's just like, we would not substitute like that. And so it was just like a lot of guys would get tired when we needed them the most and stuff like that. And I know now Coach Collins understood that was an issue in the past, and Coach Brown knows that was an issue in the past. And for us to rotate around 20 guys, man, that's something that we've been preaching for years that we need to do a better job of. And I feel like we finally are starting to do that a lot more. So it's good to see. And also just not only for players that we need in crucial moments, but it allows guys who hasn't really played a lot in the past to get some burn on Saturdays and Thursdays. So, just seeing guys like that get out there, and I know from my perspective, seeing Tyler Thompson get out there, it was good to see him out there really get in the game, really see how it feels. I know he's played some games in the past, but for him to be in a true rotation, and to see how the fruits of his labor start to come up in the game, I feel like he's going to do a good job and improve each and every time he gets in the game. So just not only for Tyler's sake, but for everybody across the D-line, linebackers, safeties, and secondary, I feel like that's going to be great for us, especially down the long run of the season.
Just to follow up on that really quick, we were talking to Jeff Collins yesterday. He was saying that the way Mac was running the camp kind of allowed for some of that preparation to happen as far as getting more guys. What do you feel that Mac was doing to kind of prepare you guys to rotate in there more and get more guys in?
I think like just preaching the fact that we need to get more guys in, like just understanding it's just like we don't need just 11 guys, we need 22 guys, we need 25 guys, we need guys that we need to rotate in, because it's just more than the first 11 that's going to be in. Like we need all hands on deck. Like we need to make sure that everybody needs to know what they're doing. Doesn't matter if you're starting, you're second, third, it doesn't matter. And I feel like the way that Coach Collins has ran our walkthroughs, the way that we do things on the defensive side, it's just like you can't get lulled to sleep just because you're not getting any playing time. Like you got to understand what your job is, because we're constantly rotating, we're constantly asking like, what do you got to do in this situation? The meeting rooms are the exact same way. So just like, even going all the way back to the summer, going through fall camp and stuff like that, just understanding is like holding everybody to a standard and accountability, understanding like you got to know what you have to do in this certain situation, what your job is, and also potentially somebody else's job. I feel like that's definitely benefited, and now it's starting to come to fruition now.
We talked to Mac yesterday. He noted that at times this program has lost games it shouldn't have in the past.
Yep.
And because of that, the focus now is more on you guys, your own standard, more so than the opponent in many respects. What does that mean to you, and how is that different from maybe some of the messaging before?
I feel like for us, it's just like we got to play to our standard. I know for the defensive side, we've set our standard to be the best defense in college football, and so now that's our standard. So that means it's just, we got to practice at a high level. We have to meet at a high level. We have to know our responsibilities at a high level. And Coach is right. We've won some games that a lot of people did not see us as the favorite, and we won. And we also lost some games as we were the favorite, and we didn't win. And so just like as of right now, man, it's just like with those games, it's like it went the way we went. It didn't go the way we went, but now we're in a new time to where it's just like now we're competing for a standard. We're holding ourselves accountable to a higher standard than what we've had in the past. And just, we're just going to be 1-0 each and every week. We're not going to be worrying about the opponent 2 weeks from now, 3 weeks from now. We're only worried about the opponent of the week. And at the end of the day, we're only facing ourselves at the end of it, because we've seen in games just like we never got beat physically. It's just that we beat ourselves, whether that was one guy that didn't get in his gap or coverage or drop ball or missed gap when they were running. It didn't have to do anything with the guy across from us. It had to do with the guy that we look ourselves in the mirror every single day. And so with us, we're facing ourselves at the end of it. We're facing ourselves at practice. And so at the end of it is going to be us versus us on Saturdays too.
Kaimon, what's different, if anything, on those packages where you're lining up beside Dez and Bo's on the opposite side and you're just kind of turning it loose? Like, is there anything different about your approach, or is it just the same as it always is, no matter what down it is?
Same as always is, just keeping the main thing. So, just understanding. I heard somebody laugh. I know you got that from. But, just understanding is just, it doesn't make any difference. Just, my approach is not different. Just when I get put in the pass rush situation, that means I get to turn my ears back and just let it loose. And so now we're having those packages where I'm lined up beside Dez or I'm lined up beside Bo, and it's like we're on two on the same side, and let alone just having all three of us on the field. So, my approach is just the same, and whatever the call is, I'm do what I'm supposed to do. And let's get a sack by the end of it. It's a party in the backfield by that point.
For lack of a better word, is that fun, having those guys out there? And
100%.
You know what I mean?
Because it's dealer's choice. It's whatever you want to do. If you slide it to both sides and you're leaving me and Dez open, if you want to slide it to my side, you're leaving Dez and Bo open, and if you want to put it on Dez, then all right, you're gonna leave me and Bo open. So it's whatever. Bless you. So it's whatever you want to do, and whoever you slide it to is a threat on the back end. We have threats all across the board, and not even just the edge guys, but guys up the middle. So whether that we have Javari or Josh or Trav or KJ, is like, it doesn't matter. Whoever we have up the middle is going to be a threat. Whoever we have on the edges is going to be a threat. So it's at that point, it's just like you got to pick your poison. So.
All right, we good?
What's different in your approach now?
Nothing different.
What's your QB1?
Yeah, no, nothing different. Just preparing like I always would. Nothing different.
How can you say it's nothing different? How did you anticipate at some point what it would be like if you go through a full week in the regular season as QB1? I know you had the experience last year before the bowl game, but I would imagine this is a little bit different.
I say I said this in the last interview also. I always have to prepare like I'm going to play, because I get my opportunity, I'm not ready, and then that's not the best. So I always have to prepare week to week like I'm going to play. And I try to do that. I try to be the same person week to week.
Is there a different level of excitement for you, knowing that last week you didn't know for sure if you're going to play? Now you know you are. So is there a different level of excitement for you?
Yeah, I'm obviously excited. When I'm not playing, I'm excited for Matt, excited for our team. And now that I am playing, I'm excited. Guys are looking at me in the huddle. So there's different types of excitement. But yeah, I'm definitely excited.
Going back to the bowl game, when you were going into that as the starter, JJ was up here saying, it's no different from Drake to Connor, and now, Austin Blaske is saying it's no different going from Max to Connor. What does that mean to you to have that level of confidence from the guys that you're going to be relying on?
That's awesome, yeah. I mean, those guys are looking at me in the huddle, I'm looking at them, so it's great to have confidence in them, and them have confidence in me. It means a lot knowing that they know I get the job done.
So still making the bed every morning, Connor? Is that
still trying, yes, sir.
We're talking about the same approach.
Yeah.
All right.
How does the play selection change in the game plan this week as opposed to last week?
I mean, I've still been practicing all fall, preparing to play. So I've practiced the plays. It's not much different. I mean, we're just running the offense.
I mean, are there more certain plays that they usually ran more for you than for?
I mean, we're gonna run plays that fit my abilities, and then when Max in, run plays to fit his ability. When Jacoby's in, run plays to fit his ability. So everybody does things differently. Has different talents. So we'll run different plays within our offense.
What did you learn, you think, from playing Thursday?
Always be ready. Obviously, you never know how fast it can happen. I just learned to, play with confidence, game manage. I feel like there's a lot of game management going on, and that's important to win games. So I think game management is important about Thursday.
What was it like? I guess it wasn't the game-winning drive, so to speak, because Minnesota got another shot, but you're in that moment. Like,
yes,
that's the thing you dream of, and you make that big play to set up the field goal. What was going through your mind, your veins in those moments?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like you look before and after, and you're like, man, like there's all those fans in the stadium and whatever. But when you're in it, it's just
you're just thinking about what you have to do next play. Like everything's just next play. You're always thinking, what if can we get the ball back if Minnesota has it? Like always thinking what you can do. So you don't really always realize what's going on around you.
Connor, one thing that that Chip was talking about yesterday was wanting to create more explosive plays on offense, kind of having a chance to really see everything in real time in a live game for the first time. What are some things that you feel like you guys can do as an offense to generate more of those explosive plays?
I think trusting each other. I think that's a huge part. If we don't have trust in receivers or line, whatever, then we're not going to take those shots. But just having trust, everyone trusting that we can execute is really important.
Connor, what did you feel like during camp that you maybe didn't do as well as you wanted to, that led to you not winning the starting job? We had heard maybe there were some interception problems. I don't know if that's totally accurate, but what do you think kept you from being named the starter going into the Minnesota game?
Yeah, first part, Max is a really good player. So that's part of it. It's like you have to be on it all the time, and you're competing with a really good guy. And obviously, I feel like I could have did better in fall camp, but I wouldn't say it's anything specific. I just competing against a really good guy and having to be perfect all the time. So I thought I still had a pretty good camp, but he had a better one.
Have you talked with Max at all since Thursday?
I texted him. I haven't talked with him yet.
How much did preparing as a starter last December kind of help you for this week? And even when getting thrown in the other end against a Big Ten team, he's already faced a Big 12 team last year.
Yeah, no, I say getting all I've already done all the other stuff. I've done interviews before. I've done whatever I need to do that comes with being a starter. I've already done that, and I know what it's like. So I'm kind of prepared for all of that, and I just focus on Saturday. That's the only important thing.
A lot of snaps against power conference teams away from the stadium. Right? You get to start a game here. Is that kind of exciting? You get to start one here.
Yeah, no, it's definitely exciting. Yeah, first start home game in Keenan. So I'm really excited for that. That'll be awesome.
Connor, you had in the bowl game, you had the ankle injury early.
Mm-hmm.
And then, as you were saying the other night, there was a lot of game managing involved, and game managing involved. Do you feel like, and I'm not trying to talk you into it, those two games maybe you haven't been able to show, who you really are, all of the range of your skills because of the injury against West Virginia, because you guys were playing for field goals and not trying to turn the ball over the other night? Is there any sense of that?
I definitely feel like I haven't reached my full potential. I've gotten better from last week. I've better from last year. So, I don't think I've shown the full extent of what I can do for sure. Yeah.
On the injury at West Virginia, did you have your ankles taped that night?
I did not have my ankles taped to start.
I was going to say, I know you have them taped now.
Yeah, they're taped every day now. Yeah.
I guess, how is that different? Scrambling or in the pocket, or does it really feel any different at all?
It doesn't feel much different. No, I should have my ankles taped. That's something you don't really think about when you don't play. It wasn't emphasized to us, and I don't know. Now I'm always having my ankles taped.
Yeah, that was one of the big conspiracy theories. Yeah, you should have had ankles.
I should have had ankles taped.
Connor, of course, we all know what Amare can do and the type of player that he is and things like that. The other night, he had the 30 carries. When Max was in there, they had the 17-play drive and things like that. I guess the ability to take time off the clock in the manner in which you guys did, what type of, dynamic does that give you guys as an offense, knowing that you can, shoot clock and control the ground game?
Yeah, being able to run the ball is huge nowadays. Being able to control the clock, control time of possession, not letting the offense have the ball, giving your defense a rest. That's huge too. That's underrated part. So when we can get guys in, even when they load the box, still run the ball. It's a huge part of the game.
When you guys have had so many snaps in the third quarter, Austin said that some of his teammates saw colors. Did you hear that, and have you ever heard anything like that?
Yeah, I've heard it like that before. I think we ran we had a long play, then we had a reverse, so they were running, we had a screen. So I think there was 3 plays in a row, and we were going fast too. And then I heard Big Trey, he's like, I'm tired. So, it was funny. The big guys out there, need some rest sometimes, but I've heard something like that before.
So you've heard people being tired seeing colors?
Yeah, seeing colors, yeah.
Trey would have been our first guess.
What was it that you saw, Connor, that allowed you to make the play at the end to JJ, which arguably the play of the game or one of the plays of the game? I guess, it was a run-pass option, right? So you have the option just to hand it off. Can you take us through that again? I know we asked you about it at Minnesota the other night, but looking back, what were the things that you saw that led you to make the decisions that you made
Yeah.
that end up working out?
It was the same play. I don't know if I remember Drake making that left-handed pass last year. It was the same play. So when we run it a lot, we practice it and just execute when the time comes.
Why do they? He had to throw it left-handed. You're going against your body, right? Too. So like, why is it going to the left every time?
We can run it either hash. Just ended up to be on that hash, and it was the time to run it. So that's what happened.
What have you seen on film so far out of Charlotte? What sticks out to you about the way they play?
I think they got really good players. We know some of their players. They play really physical. The defensive back position. They got good linebackers, good D line. They fly around the ball. They have a good team. So we just gotta go out and play to our standard, like Coach Brown says. Just be who we are.
Do you guys still keep up with Dante Balfour and Jaquarius?
I haven't as much. I did say something to JQ back in the summer. I think I was throwing, and I saw him around. And I said something to him. I haven't spoken to Dante in a while, or Jo.
Former coaches over there too.
Yeah, a lot of former coaches.
Do guys on the team still keep up with
I think
him?
so. Yes, sir. Yeah, guys on the team. I was I think they're all like 2 or 3 years older than me, so I didn't come in with them.
We should have asked Kaimon. I forgot.
We good? All right. Thanks, Connor.
Thanks.